Hello, I'm John Donato, and it's time for another Creating Whimsical Masterpieces at Home with Freeman Stage. Today we are going to be creating your own art exhibit. So you're going to learn how to make a display item, an easel, out of pencils and some rubber bands and paper clips, as well as a little sign for your show, and you're going to create your first framed piece of artwork. So we're very excited to bring this project, and I can't wait to see the artwork that you create. So why don't we get into the studio and get started.
So let's take a look at the materials we need for today. You're going to need some paint, markers, pencils, color pencils, string, binder clips, scissors, glue, ruler, cardboard, paper, and if you have 4x6 index cards, those would be great, and a lot of rubber bands. So let's get started. Step 2, we're going to begin to build our easel. We're going to make those out of the pencils. So take 3 of the pencils. One of them you're going to actually shorten by 1 inch. Okay, so take regular pencils, make sure the points aren't on there, and you're going to take a rubber band, and you're going to take 2 pencils, and you're going to tie the eraser end to the open end, so it swings like that. Then you're going to take the other pencil, and you're going to tie the 2 eraser ends, because that's where the feet are going to be. So let's put those together with a rubber band, and then you're going to kind of create a triangle like that for the easel face. We're going to put together the front of the easel using a binder clip. So we're going to take these top 2 pencils right here, and we're actually going to clip them together with one of the steel binder clips. And you can use different sizes. I'm going to use a medium-sized binder clip, like so. It's the one you usually find laying around the house. I'm going to open that up, and we're actually going to secure those 2 ends right in there, and that's going to become the top of the easel. Put them in there like that, center them, and there you go. So the binder clip's going to hold the top of the easel. We'll put a sign on there later, but you can see it's starting to take shape, and this is what will hold the artwork. But we still need to add another leg to the back to make it stand up. In order to do that, we're going to take our 4th pencil, which is going to be the shorter one, and I'd make it about 1 inch shorter. We're going to attach it to that back arm of the clip. So first you're going to want to wrap a rubber band around the back arm of the clip. So it's snug, not too snug, because you're going to need to fit the pencil in that rubber band. So there's your clip, the rubber band on it. You're going to want to put the eraser point down, because that's going to be the little foot to the easel. So you see that pencil's about 1 inch shorter. And you squeeze that pencil in there so that it's nice and tight on that arm. Secure it. And there you have your framework for the easel. For step 3, we're going to create some artwork to put on our easel. So this would be your first piece. And I'm going to do a cat, little kitty cat. So I'm going to take an index card. I like 4x6 index cards, but you can cut a piece of paper 4x6. And I'm going to start with a nose. And I'm going to do a cheek, and another cheek, and a chin. And I'm going to do an eye and another eye. And I like to use these Sharpies, are really good. There's the head with maybe some hair. Real simple shapes. Doesn't have to be complicated. I'm going to do the eyes, and I leave that little circle for the glow point, or reflection in the eye. I'm going to fill those in. And I'm going to put it on my part. See, the Sharpie's nice and clean, and when you use the other markers, it won't smear. I always like a Sharpie to do my outlines. I'm going to add a tail, maybe some stripes, because he's a tabby, some whiskers, and there's our cat. So now we're going to get ready to color it. So let me grab some color markers. Start coloring him in, and I'm going to do an orange cat. So I'm taking sort of my middle orange. It's lighter than red, and it's darker than yellow. And I'm just going to do the bottom parts of these shapes, because I'm going to put yellow in the white areas up there. So I do orange. I'm going to give him a little white belly. His tail's going to be orange. And then you see the little white areas that I left at the top. I'm going to fill those in with yellow. That's going to give it a highlight, like he's sitting in the sun. So I always use like 3 colors when I'm coloring something in: a highlight, a midtone, and a shadow. Now I have the highlights in, and maybe I'll take a shadow with red, darker color. I'm just going to do the bottom parts with the red. background, I'm going to use colored pencils. So I have a nice array of colored pencils here. And I'm going to use a green and some blue in the background because they're the opposite on the color wheel of the reds and the oranges. So they're going to really make our kitty bounce out of the picture. So I'm going to lightly color in with green. Remember, you don't have to color it in all perfectly the first time. We're going to do some layers here. And that'll give it some depth. So now I'll take my blue, and I'm going to add some blue to the bottom part, and I'm going to cross hatch, which means you move the lines in the other direction, opposite of the other lines. Gives you a little pattern there. I have some blue. And then I'm going to take my yellow, again, a highlight, and I'm going to use that at the top behind him. That's going to tie in his ears nicely, and it'll turn the blue a little green as it moves down. Then I'm going to take a dark blue marker just to deepen up the bottom of the picture. Now, just to make it a little more interesting, I'm going to take that black Sharpie and I'm going to put some stars in the background just to make the background look a little more interesting. And then I'm going to fill those in with yellow. Use a yellow marker, and that'll give me just enough yellow within those stars to make them really bounce out. So I have my stars in there. I'm going to take my yellow marker. I'm going to fill those in. And with my Sharpie, I'll finish off the little belly there. Step 4, we're going to create the frame and the backing for the artwork. So I'm going to take a piece of cardboard a little bigger than my artwork because that's where I'm going to put in a fake wood frame. What I'm going to do is on the outside of my piece of cardboard, I'm going to put fake wood grain, some seams there where the wood would connect. I'm using a brown marker for now, dark brown marker. I'm just going to put in some lines like this to create the fake wood grain. I'm also going to add some extra colors like orange and yellow, just to give it some highlights. Here's my yellow. It's on the brown paper, it stands out nicely. So I'm going to take my Sharpie again, and now I'm just going to recreate the heavy lines, like the seams and the edges of the wood with my Sharpie. The backing and the frame where your artwork is going to be placed. So that'll help stand it up on the easel. And then we're going to glue our artwork onto the backing. I'm taking Elmer's glue and I'm going to put a little bit on the back, not too much. And I'm going to place my artwork right in the middle so that it's nice and secure. I'm going to let that dry. This way it sticks to the backing, and that's what's going to hold it on the easel. But we still have to decorate the easel. So why don't we get to that? Now we're going to decorate the ledge of the easel. So we're going to take a little piece of cardboard, we're going to size it up and cut it so that it's just a little longer than the pencil at the bottom. And then we're going to put 4 little grooves, one on each side, on each end. That's going to hold the string that we're going to use to tie it to the easel. And to make the ledge look a little nicer, we're going to use some paint. I'm going to start with some white. Use any kind of paint that you have, a little bit of brush. I'm just going to very quickly color both sides, not too heavy. I want it to dry quickly, so I spread it around. You don't want it too wet, it'll soak the cardboard too. So now I'll add some blue. Fix the ledge to the bottom pencil using the string so that it'll hold our artwork in place. Step 6, we're now going to attach the ledge to the bottom pencil using the string. So you're going to want 2 about 8-inch long pieces of string, or yarn or twine. And you're going to want to press them into the little grooves that you cut in the front, leaving them hang in the back. So go ahead and do that. You're going to flip the ledge over so you can see the strings in the back, and you're going to lay that on the table, and then you're going to lay the easel over it. So open up the strings, and then lay the easel over it, and then you're going to tie those strings and knot them nice and tight to the front 2 legs of the easel. When you tie them, make sure they're secure. what I do is I do a regular knot, loop it under once, tie it nice and tight. It'll go into place right into those grooves that you put in the paper, cardboard, and then you're going to tie it again to secure it. And then it's fixed, and you can take off the excess string with a pair of scissors, and be careful with the scissors. Once the strings are off, you have the fascia on the ledge, nice and decorative blue. 7, we're going to add another decoration, a paint palette, an artist palette at the top of the easel. So we're going to take another index card or another 4-inch by 6-inch piece of paper, and we're going to draw a little palette that looks like that. Then we're going to add some colors to it, any colors you want, and then we will put the title of your show. I'm going to do John's art exhibit. I'm going to cut that palette out with my scissors, being careful. Once it's out, we're going to fix it to the top there, but before we do, we're going to reinforce it with a piece of cardboard so it's nice and sturdy. I'm going to cut a small piece of cardboard out of this, about a 1-inch by 2-inch piece, whatever will fit and hide behind the easel, and then I'm going to glue it to that little palette. Step 8, we're going to actually add the palette to the top of the easel. And we're going to use some masking tape. So we're going to clip it right to that other clip on the front. We're going to scoot it under there like that, upside down. And we're going to put a piece of tape right over that arm of that clip. Make it smaller so it doesn't stick out. And we're going to press it really hard, make it nice and secure. I like masking tape or duct tape will work. And then you flip it up and you have your finished easel. My Sharpie, I'm going to add my favorite saying on the face at the bottom of the ledge, which is cha-cha-cha. With that, you've completed your first work of art for your exhibit, and now you can send an invitation for your family to come see it. When you have your show, don't forget to send us pictures on Facebook. We'd love to see your artwork.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed creating your whimsical masterpiece as much as we enjoyed showing you how. And I hope you have a great exhibit at home with your family. And until next time, this is John Donato, Mr. Messy with Freeman Stage, saying have a great show, and we look forward to seeing you at the next Creating Whimsical Masterpieces at home.